Alrighty, so I feel like it's time for another artist appreciation, and I know what you're probably thinking, dang, you got 4 people this time? Yes! Well, one's more, not necessarily having like a lot of stuff more than others, but it just made me want to see more what they can do and they get the time to actually make more edits or whatever. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But yes, we are going to be talking about 4 different people, and that's just how I wanted to do it. And also, I do want to kind of, at the end of this video, bring up a point about artist appreciation and essentially what I want to do when it comes down to locating new artists and bringing them in for videos like these, because I want to try to make it as clear and as concise as I possibly can with it because of the objective of what I want to do, right? And that's just something I want to really mention more so at the end, because I do feel like it's really damn important when it comes down to it though. Because as much as I would like to get every small artist really to get their fair shake of them just kind of getting what they need to get, at the very same time, there's also a reason why it's not going to happen for every single person that might bring up their work to me. But still, ultimately, I would rather you try your chance and then showcase what you got before deciding maybe it's not worth doing after all because I didn't do it or didn't really showcase your work. So again, just always try. You never really know, but we'll talk about more about that at the end. But anyway, let's start off with the first artist of the dang day, which is Midnight Dendons. This one's very simple and very easy. They basically take Danganronpa sprites and pretty much edit over them, which is something that we've seen in the community before. And people like Chin has done it before too, and it's just nice to see more of it. It's not a lot that exists, but it's nice that it does exist though. Honestly, it's just really dang good anytime somebody brings up sprite edits. The Mahiro stuff just looks peak as well. Like I don't sit here and see how anybody could just be like, yeah, Mahiro again is not very much worth it, but she absolutely is. Don't get me wrong, I understand how you feel about that too. If you think Mahiro maybe is not worth it, because I used to think so my dang self way back at the beginning of this channel. But when it comes down to it though, I had to slowly and over time realize how peak she was, and yeah, she's worth a damn clap though. But overall, the work doesn't look necessarily really that bad. It looks really damn good, honestly. There's just not a whole bunch of it, unfortunately, but that's just how it is. I even like how pudgy Chiaki can kind of look a little bit, got a little fat to her, but that's kind of the goodness of some of these waifus when it comes down to it. Sometimes the fatness works, sometimes you need the fatness, sometimes the fatness is just a bold decision, but sometimes that bold decision can actually make a good play. Again, do I need to remind people how plus size elf changed my view of how fat women look in anime? I don't really think I need to go into that tangent again, but you get the dang point though. Also, I really like this one of Chiaki and Mahiro with the openness of the shirts and things, and yeah, this is pretty peak. Honestly, we just need more sprite editors. We need more editors that just can work well with sprites, regardless if it's Dangan, whether it's Persona, whether it's literally any game that has sprites ever, Metaphor, even that game that people have forgotten about. I need to see Gallica naked as hell. But when it comes down to it though, I'm gonna need to see all that. There needs to just be more people in general when it comes down to it, because it's a damn shame. There's a lot of art out there that hasn't yet been touched, and we definitely need to see a lot more crazier stuff when it comes down to that. The next artist on this list is Atomic Toons, and I kind of got in lucky as hell then. Oh, okay, so when I checked them like yesterday or a few days ago, their commissions were at 20, so now it went up to 50. And considering the last commission that they did, yeah, I can very much understand why they would do so, considering they said that was one of their best work yet that they ever really done. Also, y'all got the same logo here, so are y'all the same people, or is this just completely random? Maybe I should ask this maybe in like the DMs or something like that. I don't necessarily know, but well, maybe, I don't know. The same logo is throwing me off a little bit. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. But what Atomic Toons does is GIF animations, and when it comes down to it, as you can clearly imagine, because it's animations, I can't show you any of these, or at least half of these when it comes down to it, because obviously there's a lot of inserting into holes that is very much displayed and visible, that if I were to show at all on this channel, I would very much get this whole thing deleted. But when it comes down to it though, there is some stuff that we can obviously show, like Gabby and Sarda shaking ass cheeks, and it's amazing. Honestly, the style reminds me of like, how you would usually see different artists maybe do a comic style approach to the work and stuff like that. Is that weird that I'm getting that type of vibe? I feel like That's the type of vibe I'm getting at. But let's just be real here. We're really more so wanting to focus on one particular GIF and one particular GIF in question, and that is of me and really more so Jay clapping the shit out of Konako. Yes, I did commission this. Yes, I did commission this. Yes, it is glorious to look at in all its glory. I can't show you everything of it, obviously, but it looks mad good. I was ecstatic. And this is also technically the first animation, true animation I should say, of Jay actually moving around and clapping somebody. So it's nice to see. It's excellent. And honestly, the status quo has now been finally established in a different way, right? Can we be real? It is a glorious time anytime Jay is clapping Konako's cheeks, because you already know who the hell owns that ass. You already know. It's fantastic. They did an excellent job. The movement was excellent and grand. Honestly, they had a lot of different suggestions, or at least they had a lot of ideas of what they wanted to really do. And I was like, I would kind of like it if Konako was, more accurate to her actual character. And they was just like, no. Let me cook here. I got something with these big old titties and the thickness of the character and certain things. I'm like, okay, I'll let you cook, right? And that's just how it was. And so obviously they went through a lot of the design process as well, and it was fantastic. And honestly, a lot of the wilding ideas, well, I won't say it's like wow, but there was some ideas that I wasn't even thinking of, like the knee socks and the arm warmers or whatever that both Jay and Konako have. Like, that was something I didn't even say anything about, but they just added in because they thought it would be a hot idea, and it ended up becoming a hot idea, if I'm gonna be absolutely honest. The idea that Konako has a mole on her titty, which just makes me think of Shiaki, honestly, which I'm like, you know what this really is? This whole piece of Konako, really? It just is like, you took Konako, but then you gave her Shiaki's build. You gave her Shiaki's build, and you mixed it with the best woman ever, and you basically took two of the best women ever, combined them together, and this is what we end up getting. And it's fantastic. It is a glorious thing, which honestly, again, is something I'm super excited that is actually a thing in existence now. So to keep it very much a stack, this is peak, right? This is very much peak. Really, a lot of their artworks and animations is peak as well too, right? So if you haven't heard of Atomic Toons, please do check them out, right? I got lucky and got in before the whole price changed because, obviously it was $20 before, now it's $50. But when it comes down to it though, this also tells me as a consumer as well that they showcase a lot of value in their work, that they, especially again with yesterday, because they basically told me that this was like one of their best pieces, or like one of the ones they had to work a lot on the most. And essentially this just showcased that, yeah, your work is very much valued. It's very much something that is needing to be maybe a bit more higher in value when it comes down to it, because yeah, it's very good to do $20 for an artwork. That's at least for a GIF and animation, that's really cheap. But also at the same time, cheap, affordable works like that is also very good, because that means people can come through and absolutely, be able to afford it. And that's sometimes how I can also, get an extra bonus to the person that is drawing something, because sometimes I do oftentimes look for different artists, and if I can afford their work, I will try to go get something. And that's how I did it with Shira, and that's how I did it with Atomic Toons. And because I do like the work they have here, and essentially I do want to promote them a bit when it comes down to it, and see how it kind of comes out, right? And that's ultimately why I went for this commission with Atomic Toons, and why I did Shira like that, like the time when we first brought them up, because it was affordable and it was good, right? It was very good work. And it just makes you really think that, yeah, they have a lot more in the bag that I would very much like to see. And of course I want to talk about them on a video, because why in the hell wouldn't I? Krabby the Artist. I'm not gonna lie, I am mainly here for the My Hero content. The My Hero content is very much beautiful. Honestly, this was some of the peak stuff that you're gonna get when it comes down to it in the middle phase, I feel like, of My Hero, because when it comes down to it, My Hero had a lot of different eras of their Gensai content, and they've been very good. This post era of My Hero has been unfortunately a bit sad, because I don't really see people draw or create too much My Hero content nearly as much as I would like them to do. But when it comes down to it though, it is still some good quality stuff to be had there from the past. And Krabby the Artist, when it comes down to a lot of their work, and whenever they put out a new My Hero piece, it's something to honestly be here for. Now, do they draw just My Hero? Of course not, they draw other stuff. But it is some of the best stuff for me personally that I like to see outside of maybe a few other things, right? And also, it's just nice to see certain characters getting drawn in their style, how they do things. Toga is easily like one of the hottest ones, right? It is easily some of the hottest stuff that you can possibly find under their work, at least for me. And then also you get someone like Mei Hatsume, who I feel like is very much forgotten in MHA, which annoys me to no end, because like she's basically there. She has the titties for days that has been displayed in the show. She basically talks about babies, but yet no one wants to draw putting a baby in her. That's crazy work to me. Honestly, when it comes down to the art style as well too, I don't really know how to describe it. Like, I love it, but how do I describe it? If I were to describe, I guess if I were to describe it, it's kind of like a type of food, right? Like an actual real deal bakery. It feels like you're looking at a real deal bakery where it's just nothing but donuts and cream filled donuts and just straight up bagels and things of the sort like that just look mad good, that you just want to take a bite out of when it comes down to how the characters are drawn and the skin tone and how it all looks when it comes down to it. It's just a fantastic time. There's nothing again out here that I can really truthfully in a real deal way describe it, but it's good, like a good ass bread product from a bakery, right? That freshly came out the damn oven and you're about to start eating that shit, but in reality you're just basically eating, I don't know, El Chaco's ass or something like that, which is also a nice bakery to eat too. Also, their art style does appeal to me a lot, because there's like two different ways that an art style can very much appeal to me. Is that either it's very unique looking and it's unique in a way where it resonates with me, or it's very much shiny and it's bright and colorful, and I very much like those sort of things as well. Even like the Dragon Ball work slap like a mega hard as hell. Like, tell me you wouldn't want to sit here and just straight up clap Kefla or Android 21 while you're at it. Because if you tell me after looking at any of their work that you still don't want to, I will assume some sus things about you. I assume you must be like Child or something like that, just waiting in the corner ready to get thrown into the atmosphere like Skirk does them. Like, I feel like that's the type of timing that you're on. But when it comes down to it though, it's just fantastic to look at. It's one of those art styles too that if I were to do a top 20 like we did recently with the top 10, if we were to go to the top 20, I do feel like they will be in there. They will be in there somewhere of that top 20, because it's never an art style I'm going to forget, really, ever. And that's why anytime I pass by like MHA, or if I, you know, see an art style very similar or close to it, maybe I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. That guy did some hella good work. Because on Rule 34 alone, just for a quick side topic, did you know there's not one single animation of Mei getting clapped and getting creamed inside of at the very animation of a 2D sort of thing with a male character and Mei herself? There's not a single 2D animation of Mei getting creamed inside of when it comes down to it in a 2D style with another male character. There has not been one. So that might give me a commission idea for the future if I can possibly have that to happen, where somebody might need to fix that, because how the hell has that not happened yet? I don't know. It happens in 3D, but I have not seen that too much in the 2D space. And lastly, since we're already on the My Hero type of topic, why not kind of end it off with another MHA sort of artist or animator, which is Dominica9. They have been on the radar for quite a bit for me to want to talk about. I mean, pick your fancy. What animation of Dominica9 do you prefer? There's so many at this point that honestly, you know what he reminds me of? They remind me of Great Mates, right? Which, if you remember Great Mates work, and if you remember the video that we used to have on the channel before YouTube decided to take it off because of stupid reasons, like literally it was some peak. It was some prime time MHA timing. And Dominica was very much on that very same timing, but not just with MHA, but with everything that they put their hands to. Like, there's a gang of animations that just exist that is just peak and great overall. Which, here's the funny thing about Dominica's work, at least in the beginning when I first saw it, I didn't really like it that much. I didn't like certain areas of how the models looked. I didn't like how rough some of the models actually end up looking in, you know, certain areas of their bodies. I actually didn't like that much of it at all. But as they kind of improved over time, and as time kind of went on and they did more work, I ended up very much liking it. Honestly, to keep it very much a stack, of all the animations that exist out there that I am aware of that people have made, the one where RWBY and her crew is basically at this fertility sort of festival or whatever, that is easily one of my favorite animations I've ever seen anybody do. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, it is one of my favorite ones. The only other one I could definitely say of their work that I really do enjoy is very much the whole celebration with the MHA characters, essentially, and how everybody had a whole sex party and Mineta was not invited. Like, let me in that damn party as well. That shit sounds like a fantastic time, and you know, that's just how it is. Anytime I see, you know, Mineta gonna kind of get cucked in that sort of situation, it's kind of hot. Granted, glad the boy actually got some ass cheeks at the end, but still, nonetheless, it was also really hot just seeing Jiro getting slammed against the window, getting clapped right there. It was fantastic. Those two are easily like some of the best stuff I've seen them do. And then I heard about the MILF version of the RWBY and how they're gonna go to the fertility festival and whatever, and how good that one is. And apparently Raven is also getting one as well, which is also a fantastic time. So yeah, a lot of the RWBY content is very damn good, right? It is very damn good. The My Hero stuff is also very damn good, right? It exceeds expectations, whether it's Ochako getting clapped by a damn Nomu, whether it's basically just anything Nomu related, whether it's Midnight Nomu as well. You know, it's just a lot of stuff that they have that is just fan-effing-tastic though. But again, the main thing I would definitely say that really captured me is definitely RWBY and her crew getting clapped by a whole bunch of people just for, you know, fertility and whatever, and then they basically try to make it like a mini competition, I guess. It was fantastic. It was good. Again, put me in that very same room so I can go ahead and go clap somebody from RWBY real quick so we can actually make some things happen and all that sort of jazz, right? Let's just make that canon, honestly. The only 3 things I would suggest that I would love to see for more animations is definitely more Toga, because I do feel like Toga needs to get clapped directly a lot more. I would like to see more ZZZ, because the one with Nicole just start, you know, doing some crazy things with the proxies is also pretty damn good. Nicole looks quite fire. Would like to see Ambi get in the mix or something like that. And then also at the same time, just a little bit more Genshin, because Sucrose was doing that one with the experimentation or whatever, and that was really damn hot, right? Maybe Lamine need to get clapped in a few different ways, and I would like to see that. Or maybe Skirk. You can easily do a situation where maybe like Skirk is like, you know, maybe we need to do some endurance training, and then Lamine just getting her cheeks ran through. Skirk is also getting ran through as well, but she's handling it way better than anybody could ever expect it, right? So there's ideas that you can very much play with when it comes down to it, and I would very much like to see it when it comes down to a lot of their work. But ultimately, Dominica9 is just very damn good. Again, if you haven't seen anything of them, which I don't think it's impossible that you haven't, but if you somehow haven't seen anything, then go ahead and follow them. But yeah, I guess that's all the artists I really want to talk about. And now I want to get into quite quickly what I'm looking for when it comes down to artist appreciation and to how to help out smaller artists and what this whole thing is going to be in the future. Right now, as you can clearly tell, I've said this stuff before and I have talked about it in length, or at least a little bit before in certain videos, but I want to make it like definitively known here when it comes down to what I'm actually looking for. I do want to help out smaller artists. I do want to see your potential. I do want to see what you can actually cook up. And again, if you want to find me in whatever way possible to showcase your work, do it by Twitter, whether it's through DMs, follow me on there. You can definitely do it on Discord as well. Hit me up on Discord, send me a message, and I'll respond back when I can. And then at the very same time, just maybe email me at the same time. You know, the channel has the email, so you can go look it up on there. Whatever way you want to send me your work, please do. Because easily, again, you never really know if it will actually make it into a video or not. But I do need to really focus on one thing about this stuff, that yes, you might be a small artist, and yes, you might send me your work. That still doesn't necessarily guarantee a shot that you'll be in a video, right? Because ultimately, one big thing that I do need to really hammer home is that I need to resonate with your work. If I don't really resonate with your work, and you know, I don't really care for what you kind of have maybe art style wise, then 9 times out of 10 I'm probably not going to talk about it. I very much made this artist appreciation playlist and a lot of these videos for the sole reason of finding unique stuff, but also finding stuff that I resonate with when it comes down to what I actually like, you know? So you can come up with a unique art style, but ultimately I might not really like the art style, therefore you might not get into a video, right? And that's just ultimately how it is. I remember somebody in the Discord actually recently made a question basically talking about, if a character was being drawn, would you like that drawing, or would you not like it because of the art style? And I said basically because of the art style. It has to look good, right? Because ultimately anybody can draw Konako 5,000 ways from Sunday, but if it don't look good in a particular art style, I'll basically tell you it don't look good in a particular art style, or I don't really care too much for it, and that's just how it is, right? So that's just what I would, you know, that's basically my whole mindset when it comes down to it. I do want to find artists that is small and artists that is unique and whatever, but also I wanted to actually hit good with the art style as well. There's a lot of different art styles that's out there that I don't care for, but there's a lot of them that I do care for. And again, you never really know unless you send me your work and showcase it to me in whatever way, shape, and form, and just any way how you go about it, right? That's just how it is. Because again, if you very much have something that is there that I would like to see, then yeah, I probably am going to look around your work and see what can I actually talk about when it comes down to these sort of videos like this. And especially if your work is affordable and I can actually like pay for it and get a work done, then yeah, that's an extra bonus when it comes down to it. I'm not going to be able to do it every single time, but I will try to do it when I can, or I feel like I think I can in some shape and form. So yeah, there's very much that. And if you also again want a more precise or even better way as to get into these videos, or even get mentioned in any video when it comes down to it, then easily the best way for you to do so is to draw one of my own characters, right? That's like a surefire way you'll definitely get my attention when it comes down to it. And especially if you message me of it and you show me of it or some shape and form, that's a very much clean, precise way that you're gonna basically get put into a video, where there's a quick shout out for the beginning of one of the videos, or it's a full-blown artist appreciation if I like your work a lot. So there is definitely that, you know? And again, you might very much not necessarily like the idea of the last part, but ultimately, I mean, that gives me a lot of incentive to really want to take a look at what you got, right? If someone drew Jay looking mad cool, or maybe Blue or Symphony or Shoko or one of the other girls that I created, and just draw them looking sexy or something like that, whatever way works, essentially, definitely is something, you know, of what you do, is something that definitely could get me to want to talk about your work and whatever. So again, fan art is very much an easy way of getting mentioned on the channel and just all that sort of stuff in general. But definitely always, again, try to showcase your work to me. Message me wherever platform you think it's best to go in ahead with the plan. Just showcase me your work, and essentially I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But again, like I said, I gotta resonate with your art style. I do need to resonate with your work. I don't want to just put up a whole bunch of different artists on YouTube and essentially promote them all and then not believe in their work, or very much not really care too much about the work and lie about it, because that's not what this whole playlist has been for at all. So that's just how that goes. But when it comes down to it though, that's really all I want to mainly focus on and say at the very end of all this. So again, if you are an artist, if you are small, if you're big, whatever, if you like your whole art to be showcased in a video, please come through and DM me on Twitter, hit me up on Discord, or email me, whatever works, and essentially let me see your work. And if you just really want to get your work out there and, you know, get my attention when it comes down to it, very much, you can draw one of my own characters, sexy, or whether it's not sexy or whatever, but safe for work, whatever, doesn't necessarily matter. Draw them and just straight up showcase what you have, and then most likely it will be in a, you know, a shout out in a future video or in a artist appreciation if I like it enough and you have a big catalog. So that's just how it is. But ultimately, that's really all I wanted to say for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on the way out. Also follow my socials, and if you'd like to donate to your channel, Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And this has been Boy J, sign off. Have a blessed day.